There's a new website you need to go to if you lose your job to AI. It's simply jobless.ai. And as you can see, despite launching only a few months ago, already almost 129,000 people have reported that they have lost their jobs in this manner. And you'll notice a solid majority of them are based in the US. And I am getting so sick of the cavalier response that so many politicians, and particularly people on the right-wing side of the spectrum, are having to this fact. They keep saying like, oh yeah, maybe AI is going to cost a lot of people their jobs, but that's always happened with every innovation, every technological revolution. People have feared that, and it's always worked out for the better. Which I think there's plenty of arguments to suggest that's not entirely true. But even if it were true in the past, to compare it to AI is apples and oranges, because we are talking about a theoretical world where all people's jobs are replaced. And in response to that, I keep hearing supposed capitalists say that it'll be just fine because people will just get universal basic income. Here's Elon Musk saying that very thing. Universal high income via checks issued by the federal government is the best way to deal with unemployment caused by AI. Bitch, please. I love this response. The person said, don't worry about AI taking your job. The government will make you rich with socialist policies I've spent millions campaigning against. Another person said, if you believe the class of people responsible for mass murder via war, starvation, poverty, exploitation, and oppression are going to give you free money once you lose your job to their AI, you need an effing brain. The thing that makes me mad about this is, as somebody who has always advocated for the free market, they are actually being super hypocritical here. I don't think it's a good thing if we all lose our jobs and are on universal basic high income. I don't think it'll happen. First and foremost, I agree you have to be delulu to believe that. But even if it were to happen, I think that would be a bad thing for humanity. Because I, for one, meant it when I said that work is good for people, that work brings people dignity. And one of the reasons that I have supported capitalism is that this system is the best we have to restrain the bad sides of human nature. In order to get what you want, in order to get wealthy, in order to advance in capitalism, you have to what? Create value for other people. And so it restrains greed and it makes people actually think about things outside of themselves. This is why capitalism works and socialism does not. And we've seen this play out with studies. We've already looked into universal basic income. Guess what? It doesn't work very well because why? People need purpose. People need to create value for others. And I love this post because this person was trying to say that essentially people being on UBI would be like everybody having a trust fund. And this other person compared that kind of lifestyle to people being on welfare. And we look down on one and we don't look down on the other. But I've been around both classes of people and I can tell you they have a lot of similarities. One, they tend to have really high rates of drug use. They tend to be pretty listless and lacking ambition. They often are not the most moral people that you've met. They tend to be very neurotic and hyperfixated on themselves. So if they want people to not riot over AI, they're gonna have to do a lot better. Then don't worry, the government will take care of you because nobody buys it and nobody thinks this would be good for humanity.